Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for this week. I just spilled coffee all over myself. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm sure someone's going to ask. Don't worry, I just spilled an entire cup of coffee on myself, so that's what that is, But you have this porcupine spirit, says time for beginner mind. You also have this bee spirit, says sweet results await. I'm pretty sure have had sorry that didn't work. You have had this time for beginner mind card with me before. So I do think that you are in this stage of learning. But, for you, Aries, I think that you are learning about something that you're learning new things about something that you've already been working on. So this could be kind of like elevating or, evolving your business or your career, or it's like you're evolving your love life. And, I think that's really kind of like what the energy is talking about for Aries during this period, if not a little bit longer. You have the Six of Pentacles, World, and the Two of Wands in your first row. Whenever I have the World to the Two of Wands, to me this is definitely an energy of getting out into the world. It's really an energy of exploration. On the Two of Wands, the guy has the whole entire world in his hands right here, and he needs to get out into the world. And, that could be literal, but it could also be like you need to learn new things about whatever it is that you do. The Two of Wands, sometimes I think the way to escape the Two of Wands is variety. It just says that, it's a card of leaving a comfort zone. And, on a very simple level, I think that the Two of Wands is about taking the lead in your life. And right here we go from Temperance to the Ace of Swords to the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is coming up the Eight of Cups is coming up in the area of the good stuff. But, this could be saying that the Ace of Swords is kind of like a card of leadership in some ways, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it could say that you're kind of taking the lead in your own life so that you can have bigger accomplishments. And I really feel that's what the world is talking about. It's like saying there are bigger things that you want to accomplish in your life, and you are just looking for ways to do that. You are just looking for, new things to work on, new things to do. That card says sweet results await, so clearly there are better results coming in for you. I kind of get this feeling of not wanting to waste your time with the Six of Pentacles. The reason I say this, actually I'll show you here, is you go Six of Pentacles to the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. Nine of Swords usually can represent some sort of round-around situation in our lives. I feel that the Six of Pentacles, I feel like a very reflective energy on the Six of Pentacles for you here, Aries. I think it's saying that you are looking at, I feel like is this really mistakes? I don't know. I feel like saying the word mistakes, but it doesn't really feel like you've necessarily made mistakes. I just think that you're reflecting on moments or times where you gave something energy that you shouldn't have, or maybe you feel like you kind of picked the wrong path too many times in a row. I get more of that feeling. I hope that makes sense, and it's not good or bad in your reading. I think the Six, to me the Six of Pentacles is a great card in the first place. But with the Nine of Swords there, I definitely feel you are in this place where you're okay, I want to be making the right decision. I feel like part of this could have to do with teamwork, or, working on a team could be very helpful. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords can definitely be lying, cheating, stealing. Some of you could be walking away from a situation like that, and obviously if you already know that. For others, the Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. It's also kind of a card where he is doing what he's doing on his own. On the traditional Seven of Swords, he's stealing those swords from an army that's in the background, but there are still normally two swords behind him. And his life would be made a lot easier if he had another person helping him. We also have two sevens right here. And whenever I have two sevens touching in a reading, to me it can represent internal fears that don't exist. So I would let go of any fears. With the World, you have the Six of Swords. You have two sixes now. If you've been watching me for a while, I love two sixes. Two sixes is kind of like confirmation for your path. It basically just says you're moving in the right direction, you're doing the things that you need to do to get ahead in life, and probably to have these big accomplishments here. With the World card again, I think that the World is representing bigger accomplishments. It's maybe you've reached a certain level in your career and you want to be a manager, or you want to get to the next level. And, I think your past readings have basically, they've all been kind of saying that. With the Two of Wands, you have the King of Wands, more exploration. I would be looking for variety if I were you. It's something that you're going to have to look for, I feel. And, I think that doing research or finding unique ways of doing things in your life is really where it's at. I mean, I think this is true for everyone, but I think it's extra true for the fire signs for whatever reason. It just seems like it would be a good time for fire, and especially you Aries, to look for, again, better ways of doing things. And I can't find that for you. I don't know what you all do, so you're going to have to do your research. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this co-create card and this breathe card. I don't really feel there's anything all that unexpected here. But what I would say is, I think what is unexpected, maybe just a little bit, is how much easier you're able to accomplish things, like if you find the right people that can fill in the gaps. This co-create card, it's like there's the cheetah and there's that owl. It's like they both have different specialties, they both are good at different things. And so I feel that if you are kind of like teaming up or collaborating with people, this goes for love as well. Again, when you're in love, you are, kind of teaming up on a team. I would be looking for people that kind of fill in the gaps, people that can do what you can't and vice versa, right? Where it's kind of like more a true teamwork situation. That breathe card again, I think it's just saying that when you have other people helping you, it's going to be really helpful. And, that bee spirit definitely represents collaboration. Bees work together and it's a sweet results await, so I think there could be really big benefits in you teaming up with other people. You have the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Temperance card. The Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. Seven of Wands says when you know that you're going to be successful, when you truly believe it, that's where the success comes from. I think that for some of you, I almost get the feeling that something has ended in your life and you weren't exactly prepared or ready to let something go. This could have happened before or during this period as well. I'm getting here where it's like something came to an end. Could have been a relationship, could have been anything. And I feel like you weren't exactly ready, but it's like you've been, it's almost like you've been picking up the pieces. Is, healing, learning how to deal with the situation, learning how to, get better, whatever the case may be. You have the Nine of Swords as well. I kind of see the Nine of Swords more as a fear in your reading, which is understandable. Nine of Swords is, as far as a fear is concerned, Nine of Swords is just not wanting to go through something again. And, which is totally understandable, like I said. So I think that you are realizing that you don't want to repeat a cycle. Even when we go this way here we go to the Five of Swords, we go to the Eight of Cups right next to it. So it looks to me like you are kind of leaving something behind or walking away from something, or you are definitely not going to repeat a cycle. Even, having the Two of Wands here, like I said earlier, it really tells me that you are looking for variety. You are looking to transform a situation. I also do feel this is saying sometimes, with Temperance, it's basically saying get the gold from what you've been through. It's like, again, I think one of my favorite people of all time, Eric the hip-hop preacher, he says, at the end of pain is success. But a lot of people go through the pain, but they don't get the success part of that equation. And I feel the Temperance card is saying there is some sort of gold, or like there is some sort of success from what you've been through, and you have to, transmute the situation. You have to look at whatever situation you've been through here. Whatever this is, the Nine of Swords, and you have to turn it into a success. You have to look at, what did you get out of the situation, or, what could you get out of the situation as well. I think people forget sometimes that when you go through something painful, there's probably something that it's meant to teach you, which is the gold in the situation. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Hierophant, blessing. I do feel like there are blessings coming in for you. Again, a lot of your blessings are going to come from, collaboration, teamwork, those types of deals. So anything you can do to work with other people, I think I said this to you Trongdoi John Gonde as well. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Moon. See, I think you were kept in the dark in a situation with the Nine of Swords and the Moon. That's kind of the feeling. What I get here is that, if this was love, maybe the person kept you in the dark. Or, if this was work or business, maybe there's too much darkness. And again, this doesn't have to be a super bad thing, but it could just say that you are not sure where things are going in work or in the business or whatever it is, and you are looking for some light. And we end with the Eight of Cups, which is showing up in the good stuff. But on the Eight of Cups, he is walking through darkness. He's kind of like saying, you know what, I don't really know where I'm going, but I just know where I am is not where I want to be. And, that's kind of the feeling I get on that Eight of Cups. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Queen of Cups is about learning to follow your heart. You are born very close to Taurus, obviously. It's the next sign over. Taurus gets us a lot. So I think for a lot of you that you, Aries, are learning to more follow your heart, or even follow your truth, we could say. because we go up to the Ace of Swords, and this would say that you are embracing your truth, or you're listening to that inner voice that is the truth, and that's going to lead to the most success. Yeah, what do you know? You have this card, I didn't even see this. It says healing chaos, and you have this release card. I feel like you're releasing a chaotic situation. Again, if your life feels like it's been, if you feel like you've been in the washing machine just getting tossed around like crazy, I feel like this is saying that you are coming out of a chaotic time and you're entering into a time that's much more focused. Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. It's about being very focused on, what you want, and it's also about being very focused on victories. This is coming up in the area of what's coming in for you. And you have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about, walking away from things that no longer serve you, kind of similar to the Eight of Cups. He is the winner, this guy at the front of the card. The Five of Swords can represent winning at all costs, but I really just feel like you're walking away, or maybe you've already done this over a period of time and it's like you've walked away from a losing situation. And I feel like you're starting to turn that situation into gold, which is what that Temperance card is really saying. And this is going to lead to blessings with that Hierophant. You have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, is a card of a victory. I always say it's my card of laser-like focus, being very, very focused on one thing that you want to accomplish and having that type of victory. For you here, Aries, I feel this is more talking about kind of like your truth, or your, whatever your inner truth is with the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups really represents your heart, or she represents like heart-based energy being focused on, what her heart is telling her to do. And I feel that's where the victory is going to come in with this Ace of Swords. I also feel that, the Nine of Swords in your reading is right next to it. And the Nine of Swords like a never-ending nightmare. So if you feel like something is never going to come to an end, I think it is with the Ace of Swords. Sometimes I think we get into that Nine of Swords space and we're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of this situation, or nothing is ever going to change. But the whole entire reading, we see a lot of change going on here. You have the Ten of Wands, which kind of says you're almost at the end of a long journey or long grind in your life. And the Ten of Wands, he's about to reach his home here. And he's about to put down his burdens. So I feel that a lot of you are doing that. I do think that for the time ahead, it's going to be really important that Aries has healthy boundaries. You even end with the Nine of Wands as well. And so I think it's going, and you have the Seven of Wands. They're both cards of boundaries. And so I think that for a lot of you, that it's going to be really important that you are more focused on yourself and not so much other people's like problems and issues. Now, if you're working on a team, then that's like a different story. You're both working towards the same Ace of Swords, right? That's how I would think about it. It's like if you're working on something that's not in balance, where maybe you're working on something, you're pulling all the weight and the other person's doing nothing, get out of that situation. But if you're working on something where you're both working towards one thing, whatever it is, love, business, or otherwise, and you're both pulling the same amount of weight, then like I said, then that's a good thing. So I think that you kind of like figuring out the difference between those two things, like is this balanced or is it not balanced, that is going to be your like secret to success going forward, is paying attention to who's doing what, right? And I would make sure that you're entering into more balanced type situations now. With the Five of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is busy, like I do get busybody energy here. I would be careful of just doing things just to do things, right? Again, the Ace of Swords is screaming focus to me. It's in your reading. It's really saying that having that laser-like focus is going to be where it's at for you. So if you're doing things just to do them, I think that's where you're going to feel stuck. If you're doing things because you have a good reason to do those things, then you are going to feel much more free. And I think that, freedom is the name of the game for a long stretch of time. So anything you can do to make yourself feel more free is going to be the thing that leads to, again, more success. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, like I said, walking away from imbalanced situations is going to be another key to your success here. I kind of feel this is a win for you because we have the Ace of Swords. So if you are dealing with some sort of battle or some sort of conflict in your life, I feel like this is saying that the win for you is going to come. Is coming, especially if you've been dealing with some sort of conflict, is what I'm trying to spit out here. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. Or what is this? Oh yeah, Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles can represent like something new beginnings, or starting something new. And like I've said a million times in the past, I think that a lot of you are kind of like doing new things, or you're working on new projects or new ideas. And those new things are going to lead to a lot of success for you, Aries. So anything new that you can learn about is going to lead to a lot of success. I do feel like there is new love here. But again, could this be new love? Sure. But I think that this reading is talking about releasing something. Even in your next row for the good stuff, you have this card that says confidence is your key to success. There are like 10 keys to success in your reading here, to turning something into gold. And then you have this card that says, what do you need to release? So it's like maybe there's this is like that tooth that you're just trying to wiggle out when you're a kid. It's like, I don't know about anyone else, but when I was a kid, at the second that tooth was loose, it was coming out, right? And I feel like you're that the tooth in your life is hanging by a thread here with this, what do you know, with everything that's going on here. So it's almost like you're ripping something out of your life. Not like in a bad way, we're talking about in a good way, obviously. And I think that releasing something that, you already know what you need to release, by the way, and whatever you release is going to be the thing that sets you free. Especially with this right here, again, the 8 of Cups is coming up in the good stuff. So he's walking away from those 8 of Cups. Some people say he's walking towards the 9 of Cups, which could be true, but we don't really know. We actually have no clue what he is walking towards, so neither does he. So it basically says that you have to walk away from something like in darkness. But it's like sometimes we're in darkness, Moon 9 of Swords in your reading. Sometimes we're in the darkness and it's just more darkness, and so the only answer is to, keep pushing forward, right? And hopefully you will find the light. And I feel like you will, because this is coming up in the area of the good stuff. But it's like, there's the saying like, when you're going through hell, keep going. I don't think you're going through hell here, but I kind of get that type of feeling on the 8 of Cups. Like it's saying you're already going through something, and it's like, that something you need to release is not going anywhere. So it's like you might as well walk away anyway. It's just going to be more of the same energy until you find the light. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm getting here on the 8 of Cups. With the 9 of Wands, I think you have learned to set healthy boundaries. I think that, the best way I can describe Aries energy, and again, this is not exactly what you're going through, but the best way I can describe it is it's almost like you are a person or you're going to be a person in your family who is like making money, right? And maybe no one else has money in your family, and it's like now everybody's coming to you with favors. And again, that's one example. I think there's a million ways that this could go, right? And so I think the boundaries you have to put up are like saying no, for example, or, not necessarily being a crutch for other people when they could easily help themselves. Of course, it's always a good thing to help people, but, are you really helping is what I would ask here. I think that just the feeling I get for Aries is that as things move forward, like a lot of people could be helping you or, could be coming to you for help. And I think Aries needs to ask that question like, am I really helping this person, or, could this person do this on their own very easily? And, by giving them something, time, effort, energy, money, whatever the case may be, am I just providing them with a crutch? Am I just, kind of like doing it just because they want to do it? Again, there are people where it's like they see you make money, and they think that you owe them something. So I would be very careful with this 9 of Wands energy. You have the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is celebration, happiness, good things coming in for you. So I feel like you are going to be celebrating as things unfold as well. You could be celebrating just your peace, right? Maintaining your peace through boundaries is kind of what this looks like to me. With the 8 of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. It's funny that when I looked at that page of Pentacles, I was like, oh, what is this? I thought it was the Knight of Pentacles for some reason. So here you go. Knight of Pentacles is progress, growth, you growing on your own as well, and I kind of feel that here. With the 9 of Wands, you have the 6 of Cups. We have a lot of 6s here. I think the 6s are, a clue for you that you're going in the right direction. Again, if you're in darkness, you have no clue if you're going the right direction. I think this reading is a little bit of a confirmation reading for you. It's not really talking about anything, which is weird, There's it's not really talking about love. It's not really, talking about business. It's more talking about your truth, the things that you're trying to accomplish, which could be, love, money, and business. But I think these 6s are more talking about your journey or your path. And with the 3 of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands here. You have the KN of Wands, the Queen of W, Both cards represent being bold, being assertive, really setting out to accomplish something big. And so I feel like you are moving forward fearlessly. The Queen of Wands, she also does her own thing. She marches to the beat of her own drum. She doesn't listen to other people and she has a unique path. She does her own thing, and I feel like you're in that energy as well. You have this cobweb, it says protected from negative forces beyond your control. So I think you are protected at this time. You have this carrot, it says opportunity or windfall. Yeah, I really feel there's a much better energy coming in for you, and again, like a level up, whatever you want to call it, type of energy that could lead to a windfall. You have this woman card, says dealings or relationships with a woman. You have this fair man, it says dealings or relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. So you could be attracting a new person into your life. And there you go, you have this box, it says you will receive a gift. I think the gift you're receiving is the truth, It's like your truth, what your unique path is, right? Even the Queen of Wands, like I said, the Queen of Wands is all about your unique path. So I think for a lot of you, that's the gift you are getting here with this box energy. I always clarify these monthly cards. This one originally referenced a specific month, and then you have this bird perched, it says waiting for news, package, or letter. So if you're waiting for news, I think that it could be coming in for you very soon. Maybe you're waiting right now for approval or whatever, especially if you're worried about it. I'm getting if you're worried that something is going to come through, I think this is saying, right at the beginning of the next phase, things are going to come through for you. But pretty interesting reading. I have not had a reading like this for you in a while, so I'm just trying to see if there's anything else, but not really. I think it looks good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your time.